So we've been working on the camel. And I want to actually, if you come towards your screen, I want to show you this picture. This is in a book by Heinz Grill called A New Yoga Will. And this picture here, these circles, when we do the camel, we grow up and we successively arc around with the back and with the arm. And we start with just small little movements, and gradually they get bigger and bigger and bigger until we build up this great big curve through the spine, reaching far out. And what's interesting is that this top line here is drawn so that it then continues in a little dotted line all the way back and closes in on itself again. And there's a little sentence down at the bottom of this paragraph here that says that as the movements open, they center in. And so there's something that is happening in both directions. You can see in a movement like this extensive backward bend, you can see that the movement opens, but the spine, on the other hand, has to become more and more centered until then eventually, let me find the actual camel picture. That's then the full final position, which has closed in on itself again. So we're going to do, with the various movements that we do today, we'll do repetitions which open more and more and more. And what we'll try and do is feel how our spine gradually becomes more centered in the process. Okay, take your feet together. Let's roll down. Neck relaxed, shoulders, head. And then we'll come up in a gliding movement up into the sunrise position. So as we open, we also center in on the spine. We're going to do successive movements, rolling down with that thought, imagining each time we come up that the circles we make get bigger and the spine becomes more centered. Let's go up a second time, gliding up. Great big opening movement with the hands and chest, centering in on the spine. Back down, roll down again. Gliding back up, even bigger, opening even more, lifting from the solar plexus, lifting from behind the spine on the heart center, opening the chest and streaming out through the arms. Hands down. One more time. Relaxing to begin. Neck and shoulders relaxed. And then gliding back up in a great big circle, legs drawn together, tightening at the sacrum, lifting from the solar plexus, lifting at the heart center, streaming through the upper spine, right through the arms to the fingertips. And then take the hands by your sides. Right, so we'll do a couple of rounds of the sun prayer, with each movement increasing as we open. We center in on the spine, opening and centering, gliding out forwards. Right foot back, legs down, gliding up into an open movement, centering on the spine. Plank, knees Knees, chest and face down. Cobra. Downward dog. Right foot forward. Gliding up. Left foot forward. Gliding out. And then swing up. Opening the chest. And the hands by your sides. Hands together. Let's really lift up the chest actively from behind. Hands down and glide forwards, and streaming far out. Left foot back. Gliding up, opening and centering in. Plank. Knees, chest and face down. Cobra. Downward dog. Left foot forward. Half moon and really grow. And the right foot forward. Gliding far out. And then swinging up. Lifting from the chest. Streaming through. And the hands by your sides. Let's just pause a moment and let's be aware of the sphere out in front of us to which we're opening, and also the spine as our backbone, which makes a good straight line. Let's do another round. Hands together. As we open out, at the same time we center in, gliding far out forwards. Right foot back. Swinging up with the arms. Growing, opening out, centering in on the spine. Plank. Knees, chest and face down. And really open your chest, center in the cobra. Downward dog. Right foot forward. Swinging up, opening, centering in. Left foot forward. Lengthening out in front. Swing up. Grow. Opening and centering in. And the hands by your sides. Hands together. And a lift. And grow. And come forwards. Glide out. Left foot back. Rising up. Grow. And the plank. Knees, chest and face down. Cobra. Downward dog. Left foot forward. Swinging up. Opening, centering in. And right foot forward. Stream out. Swing up. Grow. and the hands by your sides. So we'll come to the next movement. We'll come to the triangle. Can you take your feet wide apart? So this time the opening is going to be from side to side. Let's start first of all by taking both arms up above the head. And we can feel that we're opening the sides of the body as we do this. And the centering takes place in the middle at the solar plexus. Let's stay with that thought. Let's take the arms down again. So we want to keep the movement very light and free. We take the movement in a wide opening. And we feel that we center, we almost narrow and tighten as we lift from the solar plexus. Let's do that movement one more time. Wide opening. And centering in the middle. And hands down. Glide out far forwards. Lengthening. Then relax and swing up. Hands by your sides. Let's do a similar thing with one arm. Raise the right arm above your head and the left arm to the horizontal. And imagine now both arms are gliding out into an openness in the vertical and the horizontal directions. And in your middle, you feel a tightening. Take the arms down and then swing them up to the other side. Left arm vertical, right arm horizontal. We glide out into the openness. And as we do that, there's a centering, a tightening that happens in our middle. Arms down once again, gliding up, streaming out into the openness, tightening in the middle. And down, and glide up. Stream outwards and tighten in. And down. Once again, glide out forwards and lengthen. Take the arms behind and swing up. Hands down. Right, let's come all the way over into the triangle in the same way. Left arm to the horizontal, right arm vertical. Glide out into the openness, tightening in your middle, so that with that stability in your middle, you can flow out to one side. Back to the middle. Gliding up and out to the other side. And back to the middle again. Wide open movements, extending out in the two directions, grow from the middle, and then come far outwards. And back. Each time we open out a little bit more, and we find a greater centering in our middle. The hips can move in the opposite direction to your body, so that you can really glide and stream out. Once again, come to the middle, change the arms, lift, openness, with a center in our middle. And the other side, lift, opening out, and a center in the middle. And back again. Come into this standing position, the arms gliding into the openness, and again we can feel how we have a center in our solar plexus. Take the hands down.
Glide out forwards. Again, be aware of the center in the solar plexus. We're waking this part up, bringing it alive. Take the hands back behind your back, swing up, arms above the head, and the hands come down. We'll come to a next position. If you sit down on your mats, and we'll come to the head to knee position. Straighten out your legs, forming a good firm base. Here is our center, once again, the same place, the solar plexus. And let's pay attention to the head. Right from the start, the head is in an open space, so we can look and see around us. If you're outside, then you can experience the openness even more. So let's take the hands out into the openness as well and make some great big open movements. Taking the arms up. And now pay attention again to this middle region, the solar plexus. As we stretch from there, there's also a kind of narrowing, a centering in. As we become longer and thinner, we could imagine, in the middle, and more open above. Hands down through that open space. Let's just take the hands straight out in front, keeping a straight back, not rounding. Gliding with your hands up and up and up a little bit into that open space in front. Very relax again. And now out to the sides with the hands through the open space around you. Growing long in your middle. You can really lift and stretch up from your middle. So that centering is as if it concentrates the strength. Take the hands down again. Gliding out forwards, but let the arms rise up so there's a sense of them coming into the openness as you lengthen your back a little bit more this time. And then return. Let's just hug the knees. And round your back a little bit. Do the opposite. Straighten out again. Take the arms out to the sides, centering in the middle, opening out sideways, right the way up. Take the hands out and forwards a little bit. Once again, lengthening forwards from the middle, streaming out into the openness with the hands. And eventually the hands can come all the way around the feet if you can. Long back. Head looking forwards into the openness. Breath flowing. Breath comes and goes from the openness. It's becoming calm. Let's come up once again. Raise the arms up. As the movements open, they also center. See if you can even open your chest a little bit, almost like a bit of a backward bend. Let's do the head to knee position one more time. Rising up. Lifting from your middle. Growing a bit more. Coming forwards. Gliding far out. And a bit further. And a bit further. And become calm. And then once again, come back out of the position again, stretching up, opening your chest a bit more, and take the hands down. come onto a kneeling position and we'll come to the camel. Knees about hip width apart, so about like that. Here's our center, solar plexus, same place. We'll start with progressively opening movements, gliding up with one arm and back down. And the other arm, taking the arm forward, yeah. Lifting from the middle and back down. So we're going to do progressive movements. As the movements open, they also center in on the back. And as the chest opens, the back centers. The movements become bigger. Change. Sweeping up. It's really gliding, big flowing, gliding, opening movements, and then gliding down again through the space. You can pay attention not just to getting from the start to the finish, but to the actual process of the movement itself, because then we build up an energy that way. Lifting from the middle, centering in, and opening out. Gliding through that space again. As if the arm is almost carried by a momentum. Lifting from the middle, we center in, we open out. And back again. And this time we'll come round in a full circle, but not all the way, not taking the hand all the way to the heel, but lifting and just drawing a great big circle in the air. You twist a little bit, so you come round, and then the other side. Great big circle, twisting a bit. And we'll do this again. And notice how with the opening out in front, you can feel a centering in your back. Particularly as you twist, you start to feel that centering, the tightening. The other side, big open movement, twisting and tightening. Okay, let's come into child's pose, knees wide apart. Keep your bottom pushing back as you push forwards with your hands so that you can really lengthen your back. You don't actually have to take the head to the floor. You can the main thing is your back's really lengthened through its sections. Come back up again. We'll do another preparatory stage for the camel. This time, knees still wide apart. Take your right arm up, opening and centering again at the solar plexus. So there's a real activity there. Just take the hand down, still in the air. It's not as far as the heels. The other arm comes up and you glide upwards. So you can feel you have a real center at your solar plexus, out of which the arms stream in two directions. Front arm down, other arm back up in a big circle again, and change to the other side. Swing around with the left arm. Big circle, lifting out of your solar plexus as you do so. Right arm comes up, pause, and now out of the center you glide apart into the two arms. Front arm down, back arm in a big circle, back again, and once again into child's pose, gliding forwards with the arms. And come onto your hands and your knees, and then we'll come into downward dog, toes on the ground. Push back. And you can start to press your heels towards the floor, but at the same time you push your bottom upwards to lengthen the backs of your legs. In doing this, the spine is really lengthened, but also you can feel how you're no longer open. We're building up a contrast to the actual camel. We closed in, the head between the arms, looking inwards. And now take the knees onto the ground. We'll come into the camel. If you need to keep your toes up like that on the ground, you can. Makes it a bit easier. The full position is with the feet flat. Lifting from your middle. Opening into this great big circle out in front. Centering in on the back. Gliding out. As we come round with one hand, we can reach the heel if we can, raise the other arm, gliding back up, centering in on the back, the other hand comes down to the heel. We can lift up from the middle of the body, from the solar plexus, and finally the head drops back if comfortable. To come out of the movement, big swinging movements with both arms, and sit back once again on your feet. Slide out forwards once again. And come back up to a sitting position. Just come into a comfortable cross-legged sitting position on the ground. Let's be aware of your contact with the ground. Your upright spine, which forms your central axis. And the openness around your neck, shoulders, and head. Be aware of your breath. And let's just finish by becoming aware of this relationship between the open space that surrounds us and that center which forms our backbone. And let's finish our session there.